Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NHL20 Franchise GM Mode. We're taking our new franchise, the Memphis Venom, into their first season, the 2019-2020 season. That would be this season. Hopefully, we don't get the the worldwide issue taking place in the game. That's taking place in real life. Hardy har har. And real quick, a rest in peace to little Richard. I'm not sure if everybody who would be watching my channel would even know who that is necessarily, because I know it's mostly younger people. But little Richard was a groundbreaker, a boundary breaker, and a huge influence on. You couldn't even begin to count how many musicians and artists over the years and genres. I mean, the guy was one of a kind, to be for sure. Albert, what's going on, man? Albert, also, like, there you go. Albert doesn't even know who Little Richard is. When you get a chance, look up Little Richard. And especially performances from like the 60s. He got more and more eccentric over the years. I know people are aware of like glam rock and whatnot. I mean, this dude was like the originator of glam rock. But I mean, he was, right there on the ground floor of rock and roll. Like, he wasn't the man who started it, but I mean, he was like right there with Chuck Berry and Jerry Lee Lewis. By today's standards, I know people look back like songs like Good Golly Miss Molly and Tutti Frutti and whatnot, and people might not think like those are amazing songs by today's standards, but back then there was a whole new genre. Rock and roll was a new thing when he was, when he came into the music world. I mean, rock and roll was not this, decades long music genre, so it was a new energy, it was a new sound, and he was a very important piece of that history. So definitely check him out. But my tip of the cap to the man, and he was, like I said, he was one of a kind. All right, so moving onwards, guys, let's get into our first season of the Memphis Venom. I don't know if we're going to have a successful first season, but I tried to put my team together as best as I could. And so the last video was all the expansion draft, getting the initial core of players, and then the actual entry draft. So what I did was I then took the players that I picked up in the drafts, and I figured out what I was going to need to try to put my lines together, and then I did a lot of diving into free agency, and I pretty much built my team around free agency. And there are still parts and pieces that I'm going to need to really make this team click. But right now, we've got a decent team thrown together. I have a very strong second line, which is good to see. My third line, not so much. I mean, they're just kind of right down the middle. No bonuses to them, but even my fourth line has a little extra. And I managed to put a defensive core together that each line has a +1 bonus. So, look, we got Jordan Subban. And mind you, I have a couple players scratched that are even like possibly better than like at least ranked overall ratings. It might be a little bit better than who I have playing, but that's not That's not the goal here. Is we're not. You don't necessarily throw a player into the lineup just because they have a better overall. And the goalies. Going to be very interested to see how this turns out. So we've got Zadorov and Appleby, our starting goaltenders. Appleby is the vet, the young vet, and Zadorov is our hot shot rookie, who's got a very, very tall upside to him. So we're going to see how he pans out as he develops in his first year. So let's get started. And my first overall pick in the 2018-2019 draft was Datsuk. And I actually traded him away because I was offered 2 second-round picks, one for this year and one for next year. So I took it because he honestly wasn't like a mind-blowing pick. He was worth 2 second-round selections, but I'd rather have those selections to play with than a player who, like I said, is just kind of like, whatever. You know, not that super impressive. I actually got better choices later on as the draft went on. So, all right, we've already done the budget. You can sign the promotion nights. And that's my character. My GM's name is Mr. Viperman, because you know I'm so clever. And I don't know if the owner goals are going to change, but right now the owner expects us to win the Stanley Cup, and I think be first in our conference or something crazy. All right, we are good with the salary cap. I picked up some extra players, and then there's a couple guys who I'm like, I might want to trade them away, but I held on to them just to stay at the salary cap basement. But as we move on and as we start making our draft choices and as the season moves along, we'll start making trades and we'll start getting rid of players who aren't, getting any time in, players that are making over $1 million a season to sit in the AHL and that clearly are not going to make it to the NHL. Because we'll get back into this shortly, guys. Actually, you know what? Let me just, while I'm babbling. As the season progresses and as the years progress in the game, what's going to start happening is a lot of these players that were basically all like AHL level players are going to start getting filtered out, and you're going to get more quality players coming in. Players that were either in the minor leagues or in the AHL that were prospects, basically. Oh, and something I'll explain in a moment. By the way, there's a guy who I have playing for one of these teams who is also going to be drafted. When I was picking players, I accidentally took a kid, Alexander Holst, I think his name is, and I took him out of whatever European team he was playing and put him on my custom team, not realizing that same player was going to be in the entry draft. So he's already playing for one team, and he's like his doppelganger is going to be drafted soon. So unfortunately we have a few cases of that going on where we've got players that are doubled up. But whatever, it's going to happen. Not the end of the world. So let's look at the draft class. Our first peek at this year's draft class. There's old Brett O'Malley. Yeah, see, look at this. Alexander Holtz. And like I said, yeah, he's right now looking at like the 3rd overall selection, and he's also playing for a team right now. He's either playing for a team or he's in their. He's still a prospect, but his rights are owned by another team or something. So we're gonna have two Alexander Holtzes in the league at once at some point. All right, so real quick, do we have, other than Holtz, do we have any other surprises? No, no surprises. Okay. Lucas Raymond. I'm going to have to really take a peek because I know there's going to be some players who I created and put into the game that should be popping up here or there. Because that was something I was like, I made a whole bunch of upcoming rookies and stuff like that and sprinkled them in. But they're all at different ages, so they might not even be coming up in this draft. In fact, I don't think they are for this draft, but I don't know. We'll find out. Bolesky is hurt. So here's our first injury of the season. The first of, oh, so many. We'll throw a two-way forward in there. See how Ferraro fits. He fits fine. We're not at a negative, so that's good. So, as I was saying earlier, since this is all custom league, all the players that I took in this when I created all the custom teams. I don't remember if I explained this before, but so I've taken players mostly from European leagues. Some are former NHL players. Some are players that have only played over in like Europe or wherever. But I'm mostly focused on taking players from overseas because there's players from all over the world playing for them. Like there's Americans, there's Canadians, there's Czechoslovakians, or Czechs and Slovaks, whatever. There's, I guess Czechoslovakia is not a country anymore, and I keep forgetting that. But I figured if I did that, if I was taking players, I'd have a wider selection of where players are coming from, rather than trying to pick and choose through the NHL and just like only taking certain guys out of there. So, and I wanted it to be mostly players that aren't current NHLers. I mean, I know there's a player here or there that are going to slip through. Like, I had to edit the Bingingham Devils. I'll never be able to say that without stuttering. I had to edit their roster a little bit to take Corey Schneider out of there because Schneider was like up and down, in and out of the NHL. But the last roster update, of course, had him playing for the AHL team, and he's still in the game, a very, very good goaltender. But, I didn't want a significant name like that playing in this league if I could avoid it. Let me look at this guy. It's not looking like someone I'm going to want to bother with. Nah. He's not going to crack our lineup. Right now, we do have plenty of defensemen. Alright, this is about Heinola, who, if I'm not mistaken, was a second-round pick. Oh, Oh no, Heinola I got from another team, but apparently he was drafted and hadn't played yet, so. But I've had him on teams in the past, and he's always been a strong player. So we're definitely going to be happy to hold on to him. We get a little bit of a morale bonus. Hopefully we can get back to the main menu and not sit staring at the screen forever. Thank you. Look at that big +1. Oh man, my allergies. My eyes are all kinds of itchy. Why is this dragging? Well, right now we're doing okay. My franchise that I was doing on my own, good year for rookies. Good. But we won the Stanley Cup in the very first year, which was pretty funny. And then that was the last time that we won the cup. I think we got to the finals the year after that, and then always made the playoffs. So we don't need to worry about that. So if I build this team and I continue to operate this team the same way that I did with that other franchise, then we should be successful. My only worry is that when it's time to re-sign my head coach, that I'm not going to have the budget if he's looking for a big payday, because the coach on this team, actually, let's I'll show you. If I'm not mistaken, he's not even making $1 million a year. And I think, and like in my other franchise, the one I'm doing on my own time, the coach had like a 1 point something or another $1 million contract. So he was already well paid. And I didn't have like to worry about, oh, well, now I'm losing this coach because I can't afford him. But that's what happened on the last franchise I did on YouTube. Yeah, see, he's an overall with a B, and I had an A level head coach on my other franchise. But as long as these guys are, you know, playing well together, and right now I've got a 6.66 million. But I mean, I've got money to spare if I need to go after a better coach at some point. I don't know how much time we have left on his contract. Two more years. So we got this year and next year, and then after that, we'll have to see what's happening. And then just out of curiosity, what kind of head coaches are even available? None. Yeah. So that's a bit worrisome. Yeah, there's no head coaches available. So we're gonna have to hope that this coach, D. Strachan, continues to work well with the team, and that his staff around him work well, and that he doesn't price himself out of my coaching staff. Because when those 2 years come up, he's going to be wanting more money. Especially if his overall ranking ends up going up. Like if he suddenly goes from a B to an A, he's going to be asking for a lot more money. But he might not increase, you know, and that's fine. You can have an okay coach that's not like great in every department, but if his scheme is working and your players like him, then then your players will perform. All right, a little update on the draft class to see if there's anybody that we want to keep an eye on. And we will have the constant battle between Brooke O'Malley and Alexis Lafreniere as who's going to be the #1 overall pick. And it will be Lafreniere, and Brooke O'Malley will be second. And Brooke O'Malley will be scary talent for the rest of the franchise, or for the rest of the years. You know, for as long as he's playing, he's going to be a scary, scary guy. All right. Really, the ones I want to keep an eye on are these players. Because anyone that's like in the top 10 or whatever, I don't really need to keep an eye on unless they're like a top 4 defenseman or top 6 forward and they're considered, like right here, a gem. Do we have any gems this season? Not yet. But those are players that I'll mark to keep an eye on, because every now and then you'll get these weird players that you're like they're not an elite, they're not considered elite potential, but they don't have to be because they turn out to be a solid player. And even if they're like, you know, you're looking at your lineup and it's like, yeah, this he's good, but I don't know if he's going to be this amazing player that I need in my lineup. But the bottom line is going to turn out that you can use him for a trade. And by the way, I think we've had a starting player missing time because I never got a notification that he was completely healed. Didn't I? And that would be Valesky. And that's pretty frustrating, honestly. I'm gonna have to fix that. Uh-oh. I don't have any centers. That's okay, he manages to fit. Alright, hold on. Let me back out of here. I gotta go into settings because for whatever reason I'm not being notified of players returning. And that will happen from time to time, but it's usually because, like, sometimes you won't know someone was hurt because 2 players will get hurt at the same time, or it'll tell you that someone's recovered or multiple players have recovered. And you might miss, oh, that guy was also healed up, but for the most part, I should be getting. See right there. NHL injury return warning, only playable. I want both. A minor league head coach, and I don't need to know about. I don't need the minors injury warnings. All right. Yeah, I forgot to fix that, so. But problem solved. I don't know how I overlooked that. I overlooked it before. It's this little minor thing that until it happens, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot to check that. All right, now. Later today is going to be a very busy day for me as I move furniture from one room to another. I'm not looking forward to doing it, but I have to do it. I'm changing bedrooms. Going from the tiny room that I have in my house, and I'm moving into a larger bedroom. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm not looking forward to the actual move itself. It's going to suck. Speaking of sucking, the lag is still sucking in this game. Joe Cambaradella. The dude just looks like he's going to come up to you and go, hey! We're dropping in the standings, dropping like a rock. Up. Now the wheels are starting to fall off. So we will throw another defenseman in there. Is this crazy hair McGee? Yep, that dude looks like he's got greasy hair. Alright, so where else? Shootout. Upshaw, Conacher, Prince, Bennett. Who else do we have? Olsen. Yeah, us and most other teams right now. We don't have a lot of players out there that are like real, true, bona fide superstars. We've got a lot of players with the potential to become, you know, pretty big. But right now, we got a lot of players that are making a lot of money just to make the teams cap compliant. So there's a lot of players making a ton of money that just they're really not worth the money that they're getting paid. Like there's players with like a 74 overall that are making like 85 million or 8.5 million dollars, and that would not happen in the NHL. And I'll say this again. What? How many third rounders do I have? I have 3 third rounders. Let me look at this player. In the early seasons, this is where I very much consider making trades like this, because this is where we can suddenly come up with little moves that bring in players or picks that are going to make a big difference. Guy's got 1 year left on his contract, but let's see. How good is he? 71 overall. He's very meh. No. Not just to get a third round pick, and nah, I've got 3 third round picks right now, and I'd rather hold on to them. Because if anything, I could use one of them to move up in the draft. And depending on where we end up, maybe we'll get a higher draft selection, but depends on our success in our first season. That was one thing that, like, there's a big difference between the last franchise that I was doing on here on YouTube and the one that I, was doing off YouTube. And it was the one off YouTube, like I said, won the Stanley Cup right away. And every year we're in the playoffs. So every single year, the following draft pick, like, I would have to make trades and maneuvers and whatnot to try to get an early draft pick in the first round to try to, like, I had to do a lot of playing around. And I was never able to get, like, even close to, like, one of the first 4 pick. I was always able to get somebody decent, but for the most part, it's like all the rounds afterwards, unless I made a trade with a team where I got early picks, like most of those picks, it would be like, yeah, they're kind of later in each round. So it was kind of tough to really build your team from the first or second round selections. I know we're back in here. And getting, like, these really hotshot players, whereas one on YouTube, because I was pretty much consistently failing. It was a lot easier to bring players that I drafted and get these kind of, like, mid-tier potential stars. Like a lot of players, like, oh, it's an elite low, or it's a top 6 low, and I can move them up and use them in trades to get, like, better players. But for whatever reason, I didn't realize how to put the proper lines together to fit with the coaching scheme of my head coach in that. So I wasn't having any success. And I think the other thing too is because I didn't use a salary cap in the last one, and that made my budget completely out of whack, and I was never able to have enough money to afford a better coach. Once I lost my initial coach because I couldn't afford to rehire him, then I was pretty well screwed. Any surprises? No surprises so far. Do we have anybody who's considered a gem or a boost? Nope. Oh, yep. No. No. Weird that player would pop up there. Alright, so something I was going to say, and that is, for the next game, and I brought this up in my video that I did, my little wish list, and let's check this player out. Something that I would like to see them do, since you can have a custom league, like you can have an NHL league of 32 teams and replace every single NHL team, which is what I've done here. I would like them to, like, make it so it's not the NHL, so that you can come up with your own league, like give it your own name. You can keep all the presentation of playing the games the same, like commentary and all that, because that doesn't need to be edited. But give us, like, instead of the National Hockey League, give us a chance to, like, have a different league altogether. Name it whatever we want, and allow us to have it on different levels. Like, I think I was looking at him at one point. Lacks loyalty. Well, I don't need that, because that means that this result would be me making a trade for 1 year left on his contract. He's going to turn it down, and that means that I basically would get a player who's not going to make my lineup, and I've given up a 3rd round for a 5th round. That doesn't do anything for me, so nope, don't want that trade. But yeah, but like it'd be cool if you could have like I said, like if you made your own triple league, a triple A league or a beer league or an international league or something like that. Have the option as to how many teams are in the league, that you can have a 20-team league, maybe 10 on each per conference or whatever, or maybe you don't even have conferences. But I think to make it simple, you can stay with conferences and all that shit and try to model it as close to the way that the NHL is built, simply because it would make it way easier on you. Alright, so a couple things I gotta do here. I need to edit my trade block, because I'm sure they put my 1st and 2nd round picks back on the trade block, because they do that all of the time, even though I edit them so they're not. But I just think it would be a lot more fun, and something else I was saying, like allow us to, like, instead of the Stanley Cup, like have like name something else, come up with a different cup name. And I don't know why he's on there, but oh, he's just a goalie. Yeah, that's fine. We can leave him on there. And put 1st and 2nd. This is another thing. It keeps turning him off. I wish it would just leave it alone unless I decide to edit what I want the trade block to be. Or like in the beginning of the season, once I edit this, just leave it alone. But the game likes to mess with this a lot. But yeah, so like instead of the Stanley Cup, have it so where it's like, just because I can't, think of another name, but like the Joe Smith Memorial Cup, or, the whoever, the Memorial Trophy. It's always Memorial something. It doesn't have to be more Memorial. But, or just like the Beer League Championship Trophy, and it's a big beer stein or something, But just let us be able to do that, because I don't know, it just makes it a little more custom, It's not even. It makes it a little more unique to you, instead of it being like, yeah, it's a total custom league. It's not really the NHL, but everything is still considered like the NHL, and like, I don't know. I don't know if it's something complicated, if it would play into whether or not you could have. I shouldn't have let everything degrade to this point. I don't know if it would be an issue where it's like, you have to have a minor league system, so you can't, like, you can't just ignore that. But I don't know. I think you could still have like a minor league system, even if it was just like say your whatever league is, and you would still have like a pool of players at your disposal. Maybe they're not necessarily a minor league team. Maybe instead of like, if you have like a beer league or whatever, like you only have X amount of players in on your team, but instead of a minor league system, you just have a pool of players that are also available, that are waiting to get a phone call so they can come and play, and obviously they won't be necessarily, it could be like your practice squad, almost like football, American football. It's like there's no minor league system in American football. Like that's pretty much what college is. But that's not even like a minor league system. That's just, where players get drafted from before they become professionals. But here, like, you could have, like I said, like a practice squad, so to speak. So you'd have your regular team, and then you have the practice team, and you can bring players in and out of that. and it would still work basically the same. It'd have the same general effect. Oh man. Do we have any extra money in our... No, not really. Alright, so scout salary, scout travel, I can bring that way back down. Scout salaries, I'll leave that alone. I can pull back on advertising a bit. Dump the rest of that into arena operations. And then hopefully this will allow me to fix these last two things. Alright, very good. But yeah, I just want to... I don't ask for a lot. But I enjoy this very much. And especially for me, like, I don't play the games. Like, I don't physically sit down and play the games, at least not on YouTube. And I will, from time to time, I'll play it on my own. But for the most part, I just really, really like the simulation aspect of it. I like the management aspect of it. I like doing what I'm doing right now. My locker room chemistry, by the way, is terrible. I think that just said it's like a 51%. Alright, hold on a second. Let me look. Because that's something that may need to be addressed right now. Locker room chemistry sucks. So I imagine that we've got some disgruntled players. Yeah, everybody's morale is taking a nosedive. Wow. Well, we got a lot of guys that are not happy. Well, here's a couple of wings that we can immediately put on our trade block. Bennett and Bolesky. So I'm going to write down real quick the players who we're having some issues with. Let's see, Bennett is in our lineup. Bolesky, I think, was in our lineup. And but see, here's the problem. When you've got players like this, for instance, let's look at him. So best locker room chemistry is with Gambardella. High locker room chemistry with Lewis, Lash, and Bjornfot. And the reason why that's significant is because if he's not happy, and he's mostly unhappy because of individual performance, well, that's on him. But if he's bummed out, it's bringing down the other players. So he's pissy about his own performance and about management for the most part. And kind of about teammates, but not so much. And then you've got Bolesky, who's not happy. And he's close to Proser, Bartowski, Lash, and Emerton. So Lash is with both of these guys, so he's probably going down because of that. But now here's 3 other players. So now we've got 7 players on the lineup who are being affected by their unhappiness. And he's really not happy with management, apparently. He's only got a year left on his contract. Bennett only has a year left. Man, he really doesn't like the coaches on this team. Unfavored coaches, look at that. Why? Because you're not playing? Is that what it is? Because you're not getting enough play time? So he doesn't have... It's funny. Because Sulek, he's not in our starting lineup, and his biggest gripe is with management. And that's understandable. Lash, I think, same case. But he doesn't have a problem with the coaches. Well, Sulak is, he's a player we're going to need to get rid of ASAP. And if you look, Lewis and Gambardella and Bjorn Fott, players that are tight with the other guys, but we have Bennett. So he and Bennett are connected. Those are 4 completely new players. No, Bartowski's listed. So these are guys that are dragging the morale down. Meantime, everybody's real happy down in the AHL. And I think that often happens because everybody's getting ice time. I think that's a big part of it, is everybody that's in it, everyone's getting their ice time. All the players who I selected, and you know, they're not complaining. So we're going to have to make a couple of moves. Bennett and Bolesky are both, I believe, they're both in our starting lineup, right? That's AHL. That's not who I'm concerned with. There's Bolesky and Bennett. And honestly, neither one of these guys in fact, Bolesky's probably pissy because he's not a starter. Is he? I guess he is. Okay, but he's replaceable. Both of them are. And Sulak, I definitely need to get rid of him. So, let's see if we can possibly find a trade for Lash and Sulak. And I'll put Bennett and Bolesky on our trade block. Now, odds are no one is going to be interested in either one of these players. I couldn't move Regner at one point. Any luck? Anyone? 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 Nope. So I'm going to have to manually try to find. Alright, let's check Bennett and Bolesky and see if... Nope. Bolesky's actually kind of high up here. But none of my players really have that fantastic trade value anyway, so... Okay. So let's put these two on the trade block. Well, if I put them on the trade block, they're going to lose morale. So rather than doing that, let's do the old maneuver of throwing these players throw them on there. See what kind of trades we can get. And I'm going to first focus on teams that are not playing so hot. No, it's definitely not them. Alright. So, let's see what Halifax is willing to do. Look at two things. First, I'm going to look at rookie skaters and see if they got anything. No. Nothing there. So then we'll look at draft picks. Is he by chance worth a third round pick? Probably not. No, he's absolutely not worth that. I'm not even going to try because I know we're not going to get it. What about a fourth? I don't think so, but let's just check. No. Every now and then, it'll be, oh, well, you know, we would have taken him, but what if I offered you a 5th round pick to move that up? So you'll get a 5th, but I get your 4th. Nope. Nope, he's not interested. Will you give us your 5th round pick? Nope. What about if I included one of my 7th round picks for next season? Come on, we know he's not going to go for this. Can I get a 6th round pick? I really wish that there was some kind of way to determine whether or not a player is like, even though it says that they want him, like if you look at the thing, it says that he's a player that they're looking for. Like he fills the role of what they're looking for. Well, if they're not actually looking for the guy, then why is he even marked in green? Like why show any interest if you're not going to accept it? If you're going to be like, ah, whatever. Can I exchange this? Really? Or the most we're going to get out of him is going to be a... And all the teams operate the same, so it's not like I can go to another team and offer the same kind of trade and hope that they take it, because they won't. They'll be like, nah. And this seems to be like the only trades that I usually can pull off. It's like, oh yeah, sure, we'll give you our 7th for that guy. Oh, not even this time. Wow, really? Okay, so who are you also? Are you interested in goalies? I mean, you're interested in all three of these guys. And I can't even do that because they'd have too many goalies. Alright. What about skaters? I mean, here's Blyde. Can I get a 4th round pick for both of them? See if we can pull something off here. Alright, now what if I throw... What if I throw a 7th in there now? Nah. Ain't gonna go for it. Well, that's annoying. That's very annoying. And I have to get these players out of here. I have to get rid of them. Because like I said, they're going to be a blight. They're going to continue to drag my team down. And I know I'm not going to be able to ask for anything other than a 6th or 7th round pick. My God. Alright. Might I be able to pull this off with another team? I mean, probably not, but let's see. Doesn't look like it. Okay, what about next year's 7th round pick? And I'm going to have a bunch next year, but... Ugh. What if I included... the other pain in the ass, which I think, oh, maybe he's a center. I don't remember what position he played. What position was the jerk playing? Was he a defenseman? Yeah, he was a defenseman. I can't even get... Oh my god, he's costing me 4.6 million? Wow. Alright, let's look at, who do you have that's your crappiest trade value? O'Reilly for 6.6 million. He would fit on my team. He's only got a year left on that contract. Well, let's go for it. Would you be willing to make that trade? Oh, they don't even want Select. I'll take your 7th round off the table. How about that? No. Shit. Alright, I may come back to the Indy Fuel. Let's see. Okay, so they're willing to take on both of these guys. Do you have a player? Okay. Cole Schneider. We don't know if he fits or not. But he's a right wing. He could take the place of Bennett. What if I offer you one of those 7th round picks? Oops. Or how about a 6th round pick? And I'll have you throw in 7th round pick for this season. How about that? How's that? Nope. So I'm trying to take a bad contract off of their hands. If I just take cash off of there. You know what? Perhaps I will just put those players in the trade block as I was debating, because now that I'm thinking about it, in this situation if he's continue to decline and poison the rest of the team. It basically just means that, like, I'm gonna have to do. Let's put Lash on there. Nope. Half the team can we stay up from pick. Not even. Now Bennett's gonna lose morale and Lash is gonna lose morale, but the morale right now sucks, so does it really matter? I don't think so. Now hopefully we get made some offers. Simulate up to this day. For Jerko. For a 3 and a 4. And for a 3 for next season. Now, Jerko. He was good on another squad. But, look, there's the problem, is that he doesn't technically fit. And he's only got a year left. But he's a sniper with a 77 overall. I have Bennett on a line as a sniper. I could make this move. I can afford to lose. I can afford to lose those picks, and then hopefully I'll be able to turn it around and get a 4th round pick. All right, hold on, stop. I'm probably gonna have to fucking adjust something here. All right. That's funny. So we brought Yurko in. And he's already a better fit. Holy crap. I shouldn't say a better fit. I mean, he fits right in that line perfectly fine. But what you call it, he already has more points and whatnot coming into the team than anyone else. Bolesky, he's going to get replaced. Yeah, I think Bolesky, I think you bitched and moaned your way out of the roster. And Lash, you're not going to get in there either. So I'm going to put Ferraro in there. What are my scratches right now? Look at 3 guys who I have no interest in keeping on this team. Now my question is, oh, that's funny. So Libor Sulak gets sent down. He gets sent down. He's my other big complainer. All right, but I'm going to need to make a move here because I need a defenseman who is ready to come up. Or maybe maybe I just send all 3 of those guys down to the minors. And then I'll bring someone up if an injury happens. Yeah, let's do that. And what's the worst thing that happens? He gets claimed. And he didn't get claimed. There's an expensive player. Not as expensive as Salak, but Lash, I may keep him just as a replacement. Same with Bolesky. Yeah, and then I'll since they're already pissy, I'll just leave them in the lineup, and then if I need to bring up a defenseman because if I have an injury, then that's what I'll do. And who knows? Perhaps we get offered another trade that works out in our favor. Look at this. We just brought him on. He's got more point total coming into the lineup. And he is probably, the locker room chemistry went up a few points. But he's also probably a player that will be worth offering a contract extension to, as long as he doesn't cost too much. As long as he's not expensive. Right now it's just over $1 million, but you never know. Sometimes these players will be like, "Oh, I'll come back if you give me $4 million a season." In which case, my answer will be, no. Bo Bennett's demanding to be traded. Well, Bennett, I was trying. Mr. Viperman, I am not happy with this organization. I think it's time for us to part ways. I demand a trade. Bo, if that's how you feel, like, if that's how you feel like, I will grant your request. Give me some time to get this done. Yeah. I wouldn't be that nice. I'd say, Bo, I've been trying to get rid of your ass. Nobody wants you. And when I do manage to trade him somewhere, his response will be like, well, you kept your word. My answer will be like, yep, excellent. I'm glad to hear about this. I'll try my hardest to make this happen. I give you my word. Yes, because I want you out of here. So do I at least get a morale boost to management? It's supposed to be like a plus 20 morale boost, it said. Alright, well, look at you getting your 4 points. Whoopity-woo. Alright, so back to the drawing boards. Nate Procer's fully healed. He never sat down, did he? I guess he did. Wait, he's a defenseman. Okay, yeah, he was never. Alright, stop. Let's get rid of Bennett. We got to get rid of Bennett. And we're on a little bit of a win streak all of a sudden. We might actually pull off the playoff berth. Ha 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 ha. See if that actually happens. Alright. Trade players. One more time. Let's take a peek at the fine trade. And since I have 4th round picks next season, maybe I'll put Bennett and a 4th round pick. Is Bennett a right wing player? He was a left wing playing on the right wing. Right? Is that it? Did I just not see him? Am I blind? Oh, he's right there. Yeah, I must have just simply not seen him. Okay, so no one's interested. But what if I include a draft pick? I have extra draft picks for next season. Okay, we're gonna have to do this the hard way. We're going to have to throw Bennett into some kind of trade. And we were trying with him earlier. Ooh. You guys are horrible. You wouldn't have to be interested in trading away your first round pick, would you? Of course not. But I can give you a 5th round pick. You don't want my 5th round pick. Alright. You don't want any draft picks. That's insane. Why would you not want a draft pick? How about a 4th round pick for next season? Because I don't have any for this season. So if we trade, Okay, what garbage players are you trying to get rid of? Because maybe we can include that. Little. I traded Little to you guys, and apparently it was not worth it for you. Another right winger. The center. I mean, I could take Wise off your hands. That would put them under the salary cap. Well, there's no one else on my list that you want. Man, these guys must be real low on funding because I can't even guy here. What about Verone? Playmaking center. 1 year left. Straight trade by any chance? No. Maybe I'll give you a. Maybe I'll give up a 7th, just to get this guy, because I'm really just trying to get rid of Bennett. That's my main focus. Is to get this guy out of my system. So I'm taking a guy off your hands that you don't want, giving you a guy that you do want, who's cheap, costs less than half of what you got, and a 7th round selection on top of that. And they say no. Alright, just take him and a 7th and give me something decent, okay? Just do it for a 6th round pick. How about that? No. Can I just get a 7th round pick off you? And I could take the butt assassins, but oh, they actually took it. Okay. Probably because the Butte pick is real kind of out there. Alright, so no more Bennett. He gone. Bennett is gone. Who else do we have? That they might be interested in. McInnes. Was that one of my draft picks? I don't remember. He's not one of my draft picks. He must have been someone that I must have grabbed him in the expansion draft. So they're interested in him. What are you guys willing to give up? Perhaps a 4th round pick? A 4th and... Fourth and a 6th for next year? Yes. No. Okay, whatever. We're not having a problem with McInnes, so there's not any real reason to have to trade him away. Bottom line is we got rid of one of our annoyances. So have Bolesky, Salak, and Lash. But they're, well, Lash is sitting in our minor, I mean our roster as a bench warmer. Okay. We got rid of Bennett. Since he just demanded to be traded. We were only too happy to say yes. Are you going to thank me, Bennett? Come on. I know you're going to. Come on. Contact me and say thank you. Look at this. We lose. We get rid of the troublemaker. I don't think Upshaw is ever sitting down. But we get rid of the troublemaker and we go on a losing streak. Okay. I'm waiting for Bennett to just say, well, you kept your word. Ah, crap. Lewis! Lewis broke his jaw. And we don't have any extra centers. Oh, we have... Bolesky was still up. Okay. Alright, well, okay, well, he fits at least. Look, Lash, you're getting some ice time. Oh, Bo Bennett is very happy we kept our promise. Good for Bo Bennett. Well, you kept your word. Yeah. I'm glad I could help out. I'm always looking out for the team and my players. You're not one of my players, so get the hell out of here. Management morale plus 10. Okay, let's move on. Oh, look. Oh, good for him. He got a +2 to his morale. Who cares? Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, Bennett. Bolesky. He demands to be traded. Mr. Viperman, I'm not happy with this organization. I think it's time for us to part ways, and I demand a trade. Okay. GTFO. Come on. Try my hardest. So funny, it's going to be like 20 minutes of this video is going to be dedicated to me trying to get rid of players who are demanding a trade. Yeah, good. So you got a +4 to your morale, and you'll get another +2 after I get rid of your ass. Whoopie woo. Whoopity doo. Alright, Bolesky. Can we depart with you? Is he your left winger? Yep. Whoops. No trades found. What if we offered him and a third? Nothing. What if we demand? What if it was him in a second? Nothing. All right. Here we go again. I mean, we're not going to get much for him. The only thing is I got to be careful because I can't go under our salary cap. So and we're going to be, we might be under the salary cap. Alright, you guys I can't do a deal with you. Just trying to find teams that are interested that, alright, Indy. You got a little more cap room. So who do you have that I might be able to pick up? What a name. Kunti. But I'm not looking for your best trade value. Maybe? Doesn't fit in any of our lines. He's honestly not a good enough player that I want to take that risk. I have to be able to take on forward line 2. Alright, well, he can possibly fit. So these two are worth the same. Let's see if we can take a draft pick as well. How about a 4th? And I'll give up a butt assassins. About a Grand Rapids 7th. And a 4th for next year. Since I've got 3 of them. Look, could still come out of this with an extra pick. No. That 7th round pick just wasn't good enough. What about one of my 5th round picks? But I at least want a 7th. Wow. And you guys are just not easy to contend with here. I mean, I don't know what else you guys would be interested in. What about this contract? No. Man, this is a pain in the ass. And I do want to get rid of this guy. I don't want to get rid of him just to I don't want to get rid of him just to be like, okay, I got a 7th round pick and just like that be it. That's not gonna interest you, is it? And I really can't offer them another player that's on my... Can I just get that player and give up a 7th round pick? Like, that's not so bad if I surrender a 7th. Although I'm pretty sure this is like one of the first things I tried. About a 6th round pick. This is wild, man. They're not going to go for it. That's very annoying. They're close to their salary basement too. Alright. You guys have a little more room. Wow. Valesky for 5th. Nope. Alright, who do you have that you don't need? You're willing to give that player up for what? Wow, the trade value spikes. Look at that. Alright, what if we try to get this... This youngster who isn't really worth anything. No. Well, I would have taken a 7th round pick, but they don't have any 7th round picks available. Do you guys have a 7th round pick available? That'd be pretty sweet. Right, hold on. They do not. Alright, come on. Just take the trade. Yes, thank you. God. That was obnoxious. Well, now we got Valesky out of our hair. So that leaves Sulak and Lash. So how long until one of them is demanding a trade? I mean, Lash is currently in the lineup, so maybe he'll chill out. But what about... Locker room chemistry 59. Not good. Alright, Lash is still disengaged. And Sulak is still disgruntled. Well, who cares? He's going to be gone one way or the other. We're either going to trade him for a pick or something. Alright, but the main thing is we got 2 players out of our hair. We gained a couple of 7th round picks for them. Not like, you know, not the most amazing things to get in a trade, but I'll take a 7th round pick over nothing. Because as I've said a million times, sometimes those 7th round picks turn into elites. Hey, look! Sulak demands to be traded. How funny is that? Yep, I want to get rid of you too. Don't worry about it. But there's a problem with that, and that is he, I think, is like, I think he costs like $4 million or something. So he might actually require me to do some real work. Alright, stop. Stop, 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 stop. It's kind of a weird trade. Stop. Get us out of here. Like I said, I'm spending more time just trying to get a couple of trades out of the way. Now, who is going to want to pick up Salak? I mean, the dude costs an arm and a leg. That's going to, you know, look, we're going to dive underneath our salary cap. So that means we need to find a team interested that has room. Okay, Brooklyn has room. But I need... You know what I could do? I could go into free agency. Pick up a player or two that can get me over that salary cap floor. And then try to trade Salak. Alright, so we'll remember that Brooklyn was a team that had the room and the interest. So let's first go into, let's look at free agents and see who's available, who's floating around out there. Yeah, there's not, there's nobody. There's nobody. Wow. I mean, there's a few players here that I could snag as like maybe they'll develop, but I don't know. I mean, they're all these guys are all young, and they don't really have the potential to climb up and be worth holding on to. I mean, maybe this Walfordson as a 7th D, but he's going to be a project. He's only going to want a year. No, well, that's a wasted venture. Okay. More Skinner and Gavlis. More Skinner and Gavlis. Whoops. See, you're willing to part they're interested in taking on a guy who costs an arm and a leg. But they don't have the players that cost enough that they'd want to get rid of. I mean, honestly, a top 6 potential. I'm sure it's not going to make it illegal. What, that would be approved? How would that be approved? He must have so little left on his contract that it's not going to put me under. Okay. Let's offer you I mean, I can't offer anything now other than draft picks and potentially a trade, but what about would you be interested in my only 5th for next year? No. What about a 4th for next year? Here they are bitching about, you know, well, maybe if you paid attention to our trade block, blah, 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 blah. Moore and Gavlis. Well, let me look at them again. Maybe he'd be worth it. Giving you a round 4. What about You know, McDonald's not even in our... Is he? I mean, he's listed here as a AHLer, but it doesn't matter because I can't give up another player, or I know I'm gonna be. I could give you Austin. Nope. Just don't know how to get rid of this guy. Do you guys have a 7th round pick? When you do... Just try this first. No. Here we go again, building up another bunch of 7th round picks for next season. For some reason, sometimes that's the only thing they'll go for. But not always. Alright, let me try Skinner again. I'm gonna ask for this 7th round pick. Skinner, who's a player you're trying to get rid of. So if there's anybody else. There's nobody else I can give up. I mean, Regner's injured anyway, so he's not even in the conversation. This is ridiculous. Again, I have the trades set for easy because I know how complicated they are. So I really don't want to give up a 3rd round pick. So what if I don't get a pick in return and I just give you him in a 6th? Okay, apparently I sent that exact same offer and they said no. And a 5th. Nope. I'm almost at the point where I feel like, just take him. just fucking take the guy. Please. Just take him off my hands, because he's a pain in the ass. Man. I'll give you 2 7th round picks. Or how about a 7th and a 6th? Just to give me a rookie. Look at that. They still won't take the deal. God damn. Do you have any players that you don't have on your list that perhaps don't have a lot of value at all? That are maybe priced up a bit, and I could take them off your hands. Perhaps Nieves? Nieves? How do you say it? Let's go all the way down here. Ah, look. This guy. Hey, we can take this guy off the books for you. I mean, he's not worth much. We can take him out of your hair. I'll take Skinner off. Straight trade, interested? No. I mean, I could give you this guy as well. Oh, they're probably going to say no because we're filling 2 players with the same. We'd consider taking Joel Hanley if you want to try again. That's not who I'm trying to get rid of. Ugh. Alright, hold on. Obviously, they're not that's going to be willing to fucking try here. Well, here's a team that has absolutely no valuable draft picks. Can you give me next year's 7th round pick, please? Holy shit. Alright, another 7th round pick for 2021. We got rid of Salak, and now Lash will be next, right? So you give me the next one to demand a trade. Well, we don't have invalid lines. Our AHL team does. Yeah. Man, what a freaking ridiculous effort. I swear to God, that was like a half an hour of attempting trades. It's always something that slows us down. The last time I was trying to get through a season at the end of the last franchise, it was me dealing with a million injuries. And now I've got 3 guys in a row demanding to be traded. But again, the good thing is I got rid of those troublemakers. Heinola, you actually hurt? I don't think you were. Nope. Oh, I can't wait till I have draft picks that are starting to come up that are able to fit into the team. Oh, whatever. Our trade block is fine. And we really don't have anybody worthy of getting called for drafts or nothing, or picks or trades or nothing. So in the meantime, we are fighting to make it to the playoffs. Oh, good. Now Heinola is hurt for real. Perfect. Do I have a spare defenseman? I do not. It just occurred to me, I'm like, wait a minute, I just said, not that too terribly long ago, although it feels like a millennia ago, that I won't bring up any defensemen into my main roster until I need to play someone who's hurt. And here we are. Alright, we got McDonald. Oh, I'm nervous now. Well, too bad. That's always something I never, really got about their whole morale thing. Like, do you think someone would gain morale for being called up, and instead it's like they lost morale because they're nervous? For being on a new team, like, whoa, look at that chemistry. Whoops. Also, is Lewis healed yet? Nope, not yet. But he will be soon. Probably right now. Alright, let's look at ticket prices. Because usually by now it's like 85 or so. Just gonna bring these prices down a little bit. How we doing our merchandise? Alright, we're doing alright. Alright, let's get out of here. Alright, marketing budget. Bring them down to 15 and 70. 15, 70. Oh, that's not good. Come on. Is Lewis back? Not yet. Bring up another defenseman. All right, Hanley. Let's see what you're made of. Get in there, dude. No. I hate the lag. God damn. Right there, Joel. There's been a lot of spiders in my room, by the way. Just thought I'd share that I've been eliminating some spiders that have been hanging around in here. Oh, Bolesky, you're happy, huh? Yeah, good for you. Kiss my ass. Get out of here. Yeah, I kept my word. Piss off. Like how it took you that long to say thanks, you jerk. Not that it's really a thank you. Yeah, when's the other douchebag gonna say thank you? Which again is not a thank you. He's very happy. Yeah, good for you, jerk. Greasy-headed freak. Get out of here. Scram. Piss off. Sulak, get out of here. Yeah. Good, great. I'm so happy that I was able to give you a boost. And notice he went right down to the other team's minors, so it's not like he got to jump onto another team and be on their starting lineup. Oh, Lash is gonna start complaining again because he's been sent down. He's riding the pine again. Oh no. Poor guy. Poor guy who will not get a contract renewed. Not by me. He will be used in a trade. If anyone will take him. Which is probably not likely. Alright. Get Bjornfoot back. Actually, I don't want to mess up that chemistry. Yeah, I want to keep McDonald in there. I mean, as it turns out, he may be the better player altogether there. It's been a while since we've seen the draft class. Certainly feels that way. Uh-oh, Brick O'Malley currently sitting in that #1 spot. Although, once again, as I've said, it's not going to last. Any gems pop up all of a sudden? Nope. Nope. Not this time. Oh, Shane Prince. Lash in there. Oh, you ought to be happy. Once again, he's made it into the lineup. He looks like a jerk. Looks like he's got an attitude. Let's put Subban in there. Put him in here too. Should have been in here in the first place. Considering I think he's the only offensive defenseman that we have. And we are fighting for that last wild card spot. We're trying to get in there. All Alright, Prince is back. Sit down, Lash. Might be because he's also 33 years old, and he's not in regular rotation. I mean, I can understand if that would piss somebody off. Usually when you've got younger players, they're not disgruntled and bent out of shape because it's like they're still developing. So if you have them sitting as your extra wing or your extra defenseman or whatever, like they're generally okay with it. At least in my experience, that's how it seems to have been. Man, we are coming right down to the wire. 5 games left. We got to win more than we're losing. In fact, we got to win, I'd say, at least 3 of these to have a legitimate chance of making the playoffs. And we have to hope that whoever's in that wild card spot ahead of us, if that's the Stampeders or the Cosmos, like whoever's close to us, that they keep losing, because I think we just snagged that last spot and it's not going to last. Heinola is back. Who's the extra guy? I know McDonald was the extra guy. But once again, I don't want to mess up that. Does he have good chemistry? Not really. Yeah, it's tough to lose that chemistry, but at the same time, Heinola is our starter. And I can't send Subban down because I don't have a better offensive defenseman. Ooh. That was close. Did we squeak our way in? There might be one more game. Not for us, but no, it hasn't. Did we make it? We barely got in the playoffs. Holy crap. No, we didn't. Oh, we got edged out. Well, that sucks. I thought we made it. Because we had an X next to us a moment ago, and then... yeah, those last 2 losses that really hurt. Alright, let's see how our minor league team does here. We're not in the playoffs, but they are. This can be a quick exit from them. Or are they going to pull off a amazing feat and go all the way? Well, so far 2 losses in a row, so that does not bode well for them. Overtime win. Can they fight their way back? Uh-oh. It all comes down to this. Because, mind you, AHL is the best of 5. 2 overtime wins, mind you. Oh, they're out of it. Oh, well. Alright, let's get through the, let's get through this postseason. Alright, draft class, what do you got for me? Rick O'Malley's still sitting in that #1 spot. Uh-oh. Looks like someone that I had marked is no longer an elite high. No, just a top 4 defenseman. But that doesn't mean that's going to necessarily be a bad pick. Oh, Ryan Francis is a bust. Well, we better watch out for you. AHL top 6 forward that I wouldn't even give a look at anyway. Once again, like I said in one of my last streams, like, how embarrassing would it be if, like, you know, you're one of these kids, you get into the game, and then, you know, your friends are like, hey, I saw you were in NHL20, and you were up for the draft, and it listed you as a bust. Like, oh, great, thanks. That makes me feel absolutely wonderful. I feel fantastic. The Kansas City Stampeders have won the Stanley Cup. Well, I can't imagine that we had any award winners there. Very, very unlikely. But no surprise there, Scotty Upshaw leads the team. It's funny, too, because earlier how Upshaw wasn't even, like, he wasn't leading the team in points. It was someone who we had to, we were offered a trade, who ended up jumping into that spot. So Emerton turns out to be our best goal scorer. Upshaw was our assist machine. Well, not bad. Not bad for a first season. Trying to look at goalies. Zadorov played all right. Save percentage could be better. But we weren't on a super successful team, so can't exactly complain too much. And he was only 18 years old. So, he's supposed to get better. So we shall see how he improves. The Bud Assassins. Oh, is them against the Comets. Hugo Olsen. Hey, look, it's one of the Doms. The Kansas City Stampeders Dom. There's another one floating around there somewhere too. He's a beekeeper. He keeps bees. All right. Nothing for us, but we kind of expected that. We kind of knew. Wasn't going to be that special. Alright, so let's fast forward here. Up to retirement. Let's see if any players on our team decided that they don't want to play hockey anymore. Alright, so we're going to have at least 65 million on the books. Well, 65 plus. The other thing that sucks is we just missed the playoffs and we're not even in the top 15. We probably have the 16th pick. But look at Halifax. They jumped from 14th all the way to the first pick. How mad would you be if you were Quebec City? Like, you got completely pushed out. And Halifax also has the 7th overall pick. Those lucky bastards. Yeah, and we didn't get 6 home playoff games because we didn't get to the playoffs. Didn't get to the Stanley Cup final either. But look at boost fan happiness to 97. That's really difficult. All right, one more look at the draft class. Let's see if there's any last-minute surprises. Joshua Thomas, what's going on? Hope all is well. Hopping in right at the end of the stream. But I'm glad to see you. Do we have anyone float in and turn into a shocker? I don't think so. Nope. And actually, there should be no... Well, I was going to say there should be no surprises because my scouts wouldn't be scouting anyone again, but then that's not actually true because technically I have it set so that the scouts would also go ahead and like they would just do amateur like stuff on their own. Like, so if I don't assign it, they'll automatically assign stuff to themselves, but sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Alright, who retired? Who retired? There should be a lot of retiring because there's a lot of old men. Memphis. Anybody? Nobody from our team. Nobody decided to quit playing hockey from us. Coaches. Alright, so we're safe from any coach retiring. What about scouts? Did I lose any scouts? Alright, we're going to continue simming here. Alright, that's where we're going to leave this. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to probably eat something real quick. Then we'll be back on and we'll do all the postseason stuff. So, I mean, we almost made the playoffs. Almost. But we're kind of in a weird spot now because now we're right in the middle of the draft order. And that kind of sucks. So I'm going to see if I can pull something off. I'm on my own time before I come back. I'm going to, same thing I did last time. I'm going to go through all of my current picks. Then I'm going to look at the draft class and see what kind of players I want to target and see if I need to trade up, make any moves, and try to get those players. So we'll see what happens. I really have to target elite players. I got to try to, bring in players that are going to boost this team. Because right now, even if it's like you draft an elite player and it's like, it's like potential to be elite, and then when you get a good look and they turn out to be, oh no, he's a bottom 6 forward or a top 9 forward, well, that's fine. Because we need those players. We're going to have guys that are going to be aging their way out, and we got a lot of kind of middling players, and we need to really try to build this team into something that we're gonna be happy to see have success. So, all right, guys, that's it for now. I hope you're all staying healthy and staying safe, washing your hands, keeping proper distance from people, being smart, not being scared. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe, hit the notification button, do all the YouTube stuff. And until the next one, as always, peace.